Okay, open your eyes and then open your eyes now and then look at your mental space. Not with this eye. These eyes cannot see your mental space. You've got to see with this eye. Okay, right. Right, so please everyone, you can go back to your seat. As you are walking to your seat, okay, you've got to always notice your mental space. Now this is very important, okay. So you can see that I have briefly unite the different religion. Be still and know that I am God. You can look it up in the Bible. In one of my illustration, I did, pluck out the reference. I'm not sure what book, that is, but it is a very famous verse in the Bible. Okay, so you can see that if we are talking from the actual experience, we don't fight over different beliefs. You can see that I use no effort whatsoever to unite the religion for you, because we are talking about this nature that there is no language, okay, that can penetrate. But because for the sake of communication, for the sake of delivery, the knowledge to you, from the wise, from the Buddha, from Christ to you, I therefore have to use the language, okay? So the Buddha used the symbol, the language, the label as nirvana. Christ, okay, he used the term God, okay? And the person who wrote the book of Genesis in the Old Testament, okay, he used the term the tree of life, in opposed to the tree of knowledge. The tree of knowledge, he talked about Jerry. And then this is about eating the blessed fruit from the tree of life. Okay, Lao Tzu also said in Tao Te Ching, okay, the very first two verses in Tao Te Ching said that Tao in this term means the ultimate truth. The ultimate truth have no name. Whatever that has name is not Tao. Tao has no name, meaning this state. Okay, whatever that have name, have Jerry, is not Tao, is not the ultimate truth. Can you see that? I can combine all this religion with no effort in no time at all, because we are speaking from the point of the actual experience of the truth, okay, which is very different from all this fighting that is going on in the world. My God is better than your God, my holy book is better than your holy book. And believe it or not, the crusade lasted nearly 300 years. Sadly, okay? Really. And we are now in the modern crusade, very much like it. Okay, we are still fighting in the name of God. So you can see that this approach that I'm giving you, okay, trying to help you to get to this mental space, okay, in scientific model, okay. You don't know me, and you don't take me as face value. I don't have any face value, okay. You don't know me, I don't know you. You're not going to believe in me because of this face, but you believe, you don't walk away because, okay, you know that what I'm offering to you, it means something and it can be proven, okay. Proven in the sense that when I instruct you to engage in the four foundation of mindfulness, okay, watching your breath, movement, and sensation, you follow that. And then you yourself experience this mental space. So this mental space, when you say yes, is within you. You don't say yes because you believe in the Buddha or you believe in me. And we got no, I don't prompt you, say yes, okay, or force you, because you say yes because you have the experience. Okay, I have nothing to offer you to prompt you to say yes. Oh, please say yes to me so that, no, we all know. Okay, so is there any question at all so far? Is there any question that you'd like to ask? Anything? No? Is it clear? Okay, so your experience is clear. Right, if so, we are going to move on to this part about which is a real self. I mean, this is a very important subject that we should talk about. Okay, this subject is based on the Thai saying. If you come to Thailand or you grow up in the Thai culture, we like to say, ใจเป็นนายกายเป็นบ่าว It means that the mind is the boss, whereas the body is the servant. Okay, so we are going to look into this subject, what the Thai ancestor talking about. We listen to all these words, until we get used to it. We thought that we understand, but we don't actually understand. So I'm going to spend, a bit of time talking about this. It means that our physical body, the part that you can see in the mirror, is actually a shell. It's actually a shell. Okay, just like this glove. But this is the third dimension. This is the ภพภูมิมนุษย์ In the Western world, they call this ภพภูมิมนุษย์ okay, the third dimension with the lower frequency of energy vibration. Lower frequency, it means that this lower frequency create the mass because the frequency is low. So therefore, all the photon, all the cell, they can get together and then turn into mass, which is our physical body. And this third dimension, we need to have this mass, which is more or less like the home, okay? The place where accommodate our inner self, which you generally call mind, but this part I would like to emphasize that it called consciousness or mental self. So basically what the Thai ancestor talk about is that our physical body is just a shell. Our mental self, inner self is the real hand. And in this third dimension, these two components have to work together or live together and form a complete life form. So we are going to rewind back to the point of birth. What is the difference between a crying baby and a dead baby, a stillbirth baby? What is the difference? So we got to delve into the three factors of creating a life. Okay, the Buddha have stated very clearly that there are three factors to create a life, to create a crying baby. That is, firstly, the female got to have the ripened egg, okay, in the womb. And then this ripened egg have to meet together with the sperm. So the conception between male and female, the egg and the sperm, create this flesh and blood, create this mass, this material form that you call physical body. Okay, but not just this. There is a third factor. That third factor is the rebirth consciousness entering the womb. So basically, when a woman expecting a baby, okay, in the Buddhist belief, okay, well, according to the Buddha, these are the actual facts really. When a woman is expecting a body, there are, okay, it could be a queue, a number, I don't know how many, okay, rebirth consciousness, they call rebirth consciousness. ปฏิสนธิวิญญาณ rebirth consciousness is they are shopping for the mother's womb, okay, so that they can entering the womb. So the way that they're shopping for the mother's womb, it's linked with the law of karma. The law of karma, whether this rebirth consciousness and this mother have any connection in the previous life. So therefore, you really have to believe in the law of karma, in the cycle of rebirth, before you can understand this part. Okay? And this connection between the rebirth consciousness and the womb that you're going to land, it can be connecting in the positive way or in the negative way. Okay? It can draw the energy together. So anyway, these two parts, so when you have these three factors all intact, life begin. Okay? So you got the hand together. So a crying baby, it means that this crying baby came out with the flesh and a rebirth consciousness entering the womb. Once the rebirth consciousness entering the womb, it would become the human consciousness. Human consciousness. Okay? So it is this human consciousness energy, it is this energy that allow this mass to grow and keep on growing and growing into the people like us that can function, can walk, all these things. Okay. In the opposite to a dead baby. A dead baby, you have only the egg and the sperm or the conception that create this mass, this physical body. But there is no rebirth consciousness entering the womb. It is the rebirth consciousness. It is this human consciousness, this energy from the human consciousness allow this mass to grow. Without this energy, the mass cannot live, cannot grow. Can you see that? I try to emphasize for you that it is our consciousness that is our true self, not this shell. Not this shell. So a dead baby cannot survive without the consciousness, without the human consciousness, which is because there is no rebirth consciousness entering the womb. Or it could be this factor that there are plenty of rebirth consciousness waiting to jump into this lady's womb, but the conception, the egg and the sperm built a weak house, a weak body. Okay? You got to have a strong house to accommodate the host, right? But if this house, the roof is all have a big hole, like your heart got the hole, your lung get under the hole, your spine, all crooked and twisted like this. It means that the house it just cannot live, right? Cannot accommodate a host. So therefore, even though there are certain hosts who want to take over this body, but they cannot live, so they got to leave. Okay, is that clear? Okay, so this, I just want to emphasize to you that our real self is indeed our, which self is our real self? I mean, our mental self is our real self. Consciousness is our true self. If we use the term consciousness, it's very difficult to carry on with the knowledge. I cannot explain that well. I got to use the language of the analogy. So, consciousness is our true self. Mental self is our real self. So let's prove further. There are 4 events when a consciousness is not within the body. So let's see what would happen under such circumstances. Okay? So there are 4 here. Can I have my staff come out here, please? So let's have a look. So Kun E going to be the physical self or the physical body represent like as a shell. Okay? As a shell. I'm going to be a mental self. But when you look at yourself in the mirror, you would only see this beautiful body or the handsome body. Okay? But you don't see what's happened inward, within the body. So we're going to do a bit of the role play just for you to see that what's going on. So within this solid physical body, there is the human consciousness. It is this human consciousness that allow your eyes to see sight. Okay? This human consciousness allow your ears to hear sounds. This human consciousness allow your nose to smell odors, allow your tongue to taste, allow your body to feel softness, hardness or whatever. Okay? It is all being engineered by this headquarter, which I call mental self or your consciousness. You see that? However, there are four events. Okay, when this mental self or consciousness vanished. It's not within the physical body. And let's see what's going to happen. Okay, so that four events are when you fall into a deep sleep, okay, when you are unconscious. Can you see that the word telltale in itself? Unconscious is mean that void of consciousness. Can you see that? This is the consciousness. See, unconscious. When you're in a coma, there's a lot of mystery in there. Okay, we don't delve into it. We just know that when you're in a coma, you are not conscious. And then when you are very dead. Okay, so these four events, this consciousness absent from the body, and then we see what's going to happen. So please, everyone, you're going to choose an event for Kun E. What you like her to be? You like her to be in a coma. Wow, you got to make Kun E into a coma, huh? You got a hammer? Oh no, I'm sure they will be kind to you. Okay. The little girl, Amy, you want to choose for Kun E? What are you going to choose? You're going to let Kun E what? Fall into a deep sleep or unconscious? This one. Which one? This one? This one. Oh gosh. Oh, you're cruel. You're unkind. I'll be kinder to Pa E. Okay, which one? Or whatever, okay. She is in a coma now. Whoa. She is in a coma now. Right, Kun E is in a coma, right? So what happened is that when people be in a coma or fall into a deep sleep, her eyes is still here, right? You can still open, her eye socket, her eyeball still here. But can she see? Can she see? Amy, can she see? No, she cannot see. Is it because Kun E is blind, or is it because her consciousness is absent from the body? Which one? Is she blind? No, she is not blind, is she? But because her consciousness is absent from the body, that's why she cannot see, right? Her ears is here, but she cannot hear anything, okay? If people fall into a deep sleep or unconscious or coma or dead, they cannot hear the sound. Is it because she is deaf, or is it because the absence of the consciousness? The later one, isn't it? So it's her nose cannot smell, her tongue cannot taste. If there is a fire, oh, quick, it's fire now, quick, get up. You can't really wake people from a coma, can you? But anyway, right, well, get up, you got to pick her up, right? Pick her up, okay? So, you can see that the entire body, all her skin are here, but she cannot feel anything at all in this kind of situation. And all this is all come down to because what is absent from this body? What is it? Absent from the body? Consciousness or mental self. Yeah, mental self, yeah, absent from the body, right? So suppose in the morning, we are not going to talk about come back from the coma. Okay, come back from the coma, okay. Right, coming back from a coma or from the deep sleep is all working the same. Okay, it is because this consciousness or mental self return, boop, see? Life returns as well, right? Now her perception, her eyes, her nose, her tongue, it's all function again. Okay, and life resume. And the reason that life resume is because what is it coming back? What is it coming back, Put? What is it coming back, Amy? Our mental self come back, right? Because a mental self come back to a body. That's why this body can function again. So I like to emphasize that the headquarter in a life form is which part? A physical self or mental self? Which part? Which part? Please answer. What is the headquarter of this life form? Our mental self, right? Not our brain. The brain class as the physical body. The brain belongs to a physical body. But it is our mental self that control, is the mission control of our whole life. Is that clear? Thank you, E. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Right. So, in this one, consciousness is everything. Consciousness, or my terminology is a mental self, which is also a true self, is the core of life. Is the core of life. In not knowing this fundamental truth, we cannot defend our true self. It's very important that you follow this. Hence, our true self is left without any defense when being surrounded by enemies in mental battlefield. This is the root cause for every problem in the world. Okay? So have a look. You see? This is the part that we cannot see in the mirror. We only see the shell. We only see the shell. We only see this part, this physical body, the shell. Okay? But we cannot see our true self, our inner self. But because this life form, apart from having the consciousness, we also have the component, the main component as thoughts and feelings. So all these people, these men, represent our very own thoughts and feelings. Okay? Which in this sense, very much like the enemies embedded in this life form. And all a problem come with our thoughts and feelings. So whenever you are in the state of turmoil, from stress, worry, anxiety, to fear, losing control, depression, breakdown, to suicide, all this is very much that your mental self, this red part, being surrounded by a whole army of enemies. And this whole army of enemies, give you this assault, give you this attack. You is mean your mental self. And this is the cause that caused the turmoil, okay, caused the breakdown in all human. It's very important that you understand this. This is the root cause for our everyday problem. And when you are in this state, you can see that you have no ability to defend your mental self at all because you don't see it. You don't see it. Okay? Yeah, let me see what's else. Consciousness is a true self, mental self, higher self, or soul spirit. One must know how to protect and defend a true self once in danger. Protecting a true self is to bring a mental self back home. You see that? The difficulty is that all these events are non-physical and trapped within the enclosure of a physical body. That's why we need guidance from enlightened people like the Buddha. Okay? Okay. So, this is the super urgent news that we must know about a mental self, a consciousness is our true self, and know how to defend it. But the sad truth is that the entire of our intellectual knowledge, the entire field of our intellectual knowledge, we don't teach our children knowing the truth about who is the real self. We didn't teach our children at all. We all know that this is our real self because it's the part that we see in the mirror. So therefore, the minute that we get up in the morning, we aim to look after this physical body. We got to eat healthy food, we got to exercise, we got to do this, do that, you know. Everything, all the technology, everything that we have, included all the intellectual knowledge. We all mobilize everything, physical resource, mental resource, you know, natural resource, everything to look after this physical body, which can last the most 100 years or so. Okay? That's all. Whereas this one, which is a mental self, a true self, we know nothing of. We know nothing of. So whenever this mental self or true self being assaulted, being attacked by our embedded enemies of our thoughts, feelings, and emotion, we have no ability to defend ourselves at all because our knowledge, our mainstream education never told us about this fact. Okay? And this is disastrous because the lack of this knowledge, of this very fundamental, important knowledge, causing the world to be in the state that we are in now. Disaster. Okay? So I'd like you to you know, from now on. And you can also see that the minute that I see you this morning, I straight away introduce you, your mental self, and also tell you about your embedded enemies, okay, thoughts and feelings, which are called Jerry, and then also help you to bring your mental self back home through this practice of Vipassana, okay, or mindfulness meditation, trying to protect your mental self for you from your embedded enemies. So this is the reason why everyone must practice mindfulness meditation or Vipassana, or bring your lost soul back home so that you can be free from your embedded enemies. No one can escape from your embedded enemies because these are the main component of this life form, thoughts and feelings. Okay, so we are going to delve into this part further. Is it clear, this part? Which part is the true self? Emmy, is that clear to you? Put, you understand? Okay, so from now on, you're going to look after your real self, your mental self, by doing what? Bring your mental self back home, okay? Right. Now the next one, the making of human life form. So the subject of this beginner course is so delving deeper into a human life form. Shall we take a 15 minutes break? You can go grab some coffee, okay, go to toilet, and we come back. And we're going to finish this, the rest of this making of human life form. Okay, I need a bit of rest for my vocal. Thank you.